in terms of determining one rep max, I confess I've never actually taken the one rep max for any exercise, but I have some internal sense of what that might be or what range it might be. Is it necessary for people to assess their one repetition maximum before going into these sorts of programs?
No, not at all. I think a more intuitive way is to take a repetition range. Well, you can do this a couple different ways. So there are equations you can run, and you can just Google these anywhere, and these are called conversion charts. And so it says, okay, if I did 75 pounds on my bench press and I did it 8 times, you can just run an estimate to say, that, okay, you're probably going to be able to bench about 95 pounds for 1 rep max or something. So that's a very easy conversion chart. So just pick a load that you feel comfortable with, but it's kind of heavy, but not like crazy heavy, and do as many repetitions as you can with a really good technique, and then look what that number would be. So conversion
safer
charts,
than doing it one repetition maximum.
For the general public who has, again, no coaching, it's safer. For a professional athlete, it's not any safer, but or not even a professional athlete, but a trained person with a coach. But for most people, yeah, that's a good way to go about it. You can also just kind of do it with feel, in the sense that, say you want to do a set of 5 repetitions, and you do the load and you think, I could have done 1 or 2 more. And then you kind of have an idea of what that number is going to be. If you think, man, that last one I had to kind of really, really, really get after it, then maybe just call that number, right? So you don't have to get overly concerned. In fact, when we start getting into these number ranges, you're going to see that they're all ranges. We're not going to give a specific 95% for one of these exact reasons. It's not that precise for most of them. In fact, some of them, like hypertrophy, have enormous ranges that you like almost can't miss. So the intensity in that case doesn't even matter for the most part, because that's not the primary determinant. Some of these you're going to see intensity is the determinant, and some of these you're going to see volume is the true determinant. So intensity, though, is the second one. Choice was the very first one, manipulatable variable. Intensity was the second one. The third one is what we call volume. And so this is just how many reps and how many sets are you doing, right? So if you're going to do 3 sets of 10, that volume would be 30, right? 5 sets of 5, that volume is 25. It's just a simple equation. How much work are you totally doing? The next one past that is called rest intervals. So this is the amount of time you're taking in between typically a set. Then from there you have progression, which is what we started to talk about, this progressive overload. Are you increasing by weight or reps or rest intervals or complexity or whatever? So all of those things can be changed as a method of progression. And so maybe you want to go progressing from a single joint exercise like a leg extension on a machine, and you want to progress by moving to a whole body movement like a squat. That in of itself, you don't have to change the load or the reps or the rest. That is a representation of progressive overload.